Transformers film, Devastator was lying in wait at a military depot when Starscream contacted the Decepticon infiltration team, informing them that the AllSpark had been found and they were to move out. Devastator acknowledged that he was in transit and rolled out of the depot. He met up with Barricade and Bone Crusher and hit the highway, though Devastator separated from the group before Barricade and Bone Crusher got on the freeway and met up with Autobot, human convoy.
Arriving at Mission City in the aftermath of Starscream's opening attack on the Autobots and their human allies, Devastator fired shells from his main gun, narrowly missing several targets before running over vehicles abandoned by human bystanders. As the American soldiers fanned out in search of cover, the Autobots charged Devastator.
He focused his attacks on Ironhide, who was forced to somersault over his shells. This distraction allowed the Autobot Jazz to jump on top of Devastator and point his cannon away from the humans. Devastator managed to transform and throw the smaller Autobot off him, but not before Jazz destroyed his left side rocket launcher pod.
Damaged, but not down, Devastator fired 2 rockets from his remaining launcher at Ironhide, missing the heavily armed Autobot as he somersaulted over the missiles. Ironhide and Jazz managed to fire several shots at Devastator, disorienting him. Ratchet followed up by using his buzzsaw to slice off Devastator's left arm. The humans then fired a volley of Sabot rounds while Ratchet supported with suppressive fire, knocking Devastator to the ground.
The only thing that saved him was the Autobots and humans' retreat at the arrival of Megatron. Eventually, Ironhide and Ratchet disengaged from the battle as they left to protect Ladysman 217, who was escaping with the AllSpark, while Jazz took on Megatron. Now with fewer targets to deal with, Devastator sprayed heavy machine gun fire at the remaining humans, whose leader remarked that the battle was not going well.
Devastator continued to pin down the soldiers until the damaged Autobot Bumblebee suddenly attacked while on the back of a tow truck driven by Ladysman 217's female companion. Devastator tried to return fire, only for his machine gun, his last ranged weapon, to be destroyed by Bumblebee's plasma cannon.
With the Autobots' return to battle being the deciding factor, the human soldiers rallied and fired more Sabots, piercing Devastator's armor until a final shot from Bumblebee struck Devastator's spark and killed him. Devastator died as he lived, destroying things, for his chassis crashed into the building the human soldiers had taken refuge in.
Devastator's body was dumped into the deepest part of the Laurentian abyss along with his fellow Decepticons, in the hopes the intense pressure and cold will destroy whatever remained.
Titan movie comics Brawl Devastator was known as Megatron's pet weapon of mass destruction. Nonchalant and cavalier, he even has bandoliers of bullets. He follows a single guiding principle. He also looks physically similar to Brawl, who's some other guy. Megatron threw him at the Autobots so he could reach the AllSpark, and had armed him with a foldspace warhead.
When the Autobots pointed out that at this range, the warhead would take him out as well, he replied, "So?" and fired anyway. He loves a good explosion that much. Devastator ended up warped to an uninhabited world covered with cities, and out of sheer boredom went around smashing a lot of it before he realized he should try getting off the planet. Yet every time he attempted to focus long enough to find a way to do so, he would be mysteriously and suddenly filled with a violent rage that would make him smash and blow up more stuff. Eventually he was able to concentrate long enough to find and scan a vehicle mode as well as lock onto an energy source he can use to replenish his fuel reserves to leave the planet. A mere half hour after Megatron's death and before his body was dumped in the sea, Devastator was resurrected by Starscream as a mindless zombie, a soulless monster that would only destroy. It's what he would have wanted. The mysterious flame, a power source that drove the planet's inhabitants to murder, tried to influence his mind towards rampaging until his fuel ran out as he got nearer to it. It created apparitions of the other Decepticons that taunted him for his stupidity and attacked him. This failed to influence him as it would require Devastator to have introspection, or care about being stupida. Instead, he simply carried on to the flame, absorbed some of it, and left the planet.